Hello everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Mythic Plus. So let's go over the affixes and then jump right into what we should be doing to counter these. This week we have Teeming, which just means we're going to have more trash. Quaking, which means that periodically we'll get an AoE underneath all of the players. This AoE deals 20% of maximum HP as damage, and when it's done being cast, it actually interrupts any spellcasting that you're doing at the time. Fortified, which means that trash just has more HP and does more damage. So tanks, be careful with teaming. This means that there's going to be more mobs per dungeon, and some dungeons are going to add more physical damage mobs, and other dungeons are going to add more magic damage mobs. Now, one safe bet that you can do before joining any dungeon is absorb trinkets are actually going to absorb any kind of damage that comes in, so consider equipping a very good absorb trinket this week and using that when dealing with the larger pulls because of teaming. Since there's an increase in mob density and pack size as well, you do want to spec for a little bit more cleave and AoE damage to make sure that you pick up all of the mobs that are going to be present in the dungeons. One last thing to note is that since the affixes are really focused on trash this week, when you do a big trash pull, that's when you want to pop your defensive cooldowns, since that's going to be the majority of the dungeon. Now DPSers, this week you want to completely spec for AoE and cleave damage. Completely focus on that over anything else, since the affixes really affect trash more. The only difference you have to worry about while doing boss mechanics is quaking, so that just means you have to spread out and make sure you're not casting when quaking goes off. And since there's so much trash and it hits that much harder, make sure you help out the tank by throwing out interrupts whenever you can and AoE stuns to help minimize the damage taken. Healers, prepare any damage mitigation abilities for the big pulls, so things like Iron Bark or Sacrifice, make sure you use those when the bigger pulls in the dungeon happen. Also, if you have an AoE stun or interrupt, you should keep that handy this week since it will help reduce the amount of damage your tank is taking. Make sure you do not get interrupted by quaking, since burst damage can be pretty high on some of these teaming packs. And you should keep your AoE heals handy because with so much quaking going out constantly throughout the dungeon, you will need to pick up everyone in the group as quickly as possible to maintain a healthy pace. Overall, this week is a 3 out of 10. It's a very easy week. All you have to do is watch quaking, spread out, make sure you're not casting, and use all of your DPS cooldowns on big trash pulls. Something else to note, this week if you have powerful cooldowns, you can actually pull 2 or 3 packs at a time. Pop your defensive cooldowns, pop your DPS cooldowns, and stay alive and actually increase the speed of your runs that way. So get out there and do your plus 15 for this week. If you don't have Keystone mastered, this week is a very good week to pursue it. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good luck out there.